Hi guys, so I'm miraculously exactly on time. So also, please tell me if you experience any volume problems, okay? And today, as discussed, it sounded like I said as disgusted. No, as discussed, I'm going to be focusing on Fox News, okay? So I've made up a list of essentially the questions, right, for Fox News. And one second here. Oh, just adjusting the light. So basically the questions for Fox News in terms of what we want, what's the core, okay, of the question, of the questions, okay, and okay, I'll go over I separated here. I wrote a list of the questions, okay? So basically, we have the basic question of what's going on with Fox News, okay? And then the other important part of the question is, what will Mueller uncover about Fox News, okay? That's, I think, the two important blocks, the two core questions about Fox News. And then we have also here, just one second, I'm kind of annoyed by this slide, but we have, okay, what's the connection between Russia and Fox News? We have, will the Mueller investigation change Fox News once the investigation wraps up? What does Mueller have on them? What is another important thing is the Fox News timeline. I think if we look at 4 years, okay, and see the progression, I think we'll be able to understand. Hi, Pedro, you'll understand everything, okay? And then this is a question that I am curious about, okay? So will laws change to prevent this from happening in the future, okay? Basically, I feel like it's kind of, it's insane that, to me, from my perspective, I guess, that Fox News can do what they're doing, because they really are, they're really going against national security in some way. Okay, so it's crazy in a way if you think about it, right? That they're allowed to continue, considering what they're doing. Okay, so anyway, so that's that. Okay. Oh, and the other, somebody asked this question. I thought it was a very relevant question about the sons of Rupert Murdoch. What will they do? Because I feel like, to be very honest, I don't think that he's going to live that much longer. Okay, he's probably like mid-80s, I think. I don't know exactly how old he is, but he's pretty old. So what happens after? Okay, Diane said, I heard that you're stupid and that their daughter Liz is the smart one, and that they want her to run it. Oh, that would be interesting. Okay, so yes, repercussions for a change, exactly. So that these are the core questions. Okay, so, and somebody asked here, is Trump complicit? I think he obviously is, right? It's like it's become Trump channel, the Trump channel, but why? You would think that at some point, yes, oh, exactly. It's Sean Hannity. Also, I'm doing a video on Sean Hannity. And then I also have here Breitbart. What's going to happen to Breitbart, because it's owned by the Mercers. But I don't think it's likely that I will not have time to do everything. Okay, so okay, so let's get started. Okay, and Alex Jones as well. So I'm trying to think here. Do you guys mind if should I start with a general question or go specific? Because I'm thinking of doing a kind of a brief-ish overall for start, and then do the Mueller investigation, and then ask the small questions about the Mueller those four cards, and then after that do a timeline. Okay, because I feel like, okay, let's do that. So Fox News, tell us about Fox News. What's going on Fox News? Robert Murdoch, Fox News. What's the deal? Okay. What's their agenda? What's going on with Fox News? What's their agenda? Why are they acting? The other question that is like insane is like, why do they have to go overboard? And that's the thing about the Russia connection. But I feel like let's just do a general and see here. Yeah, Diane is saying you've done my readings and they've been very accurate. That's very nice. That's very nice of you to say, Diane. That's okay. But it's almost like, guys, you know, the goal really, Diane said this very nice thing, but the goal here, what I find fascinating is the story, is really like going with the story more than the prediction, right? Because I feel like there's so much up in the air. And I feel like lately, maybe it's because I've noticed there may be more readers online. Hi, Michelle. That I feel like a lot of people are seeing similar things, which I find I love it because it confirms that all of this is in the air, okay? And that I'm not crazy. Like, it's not that I think I'm crazy, but you know what I mean? It's sort of like, it gives credence or like gives me strength too, to see that other people see something similar or that it's all up in the air, okay? It's up in the air, meaning it's in the air. Everybody, we're sensing it, we'll see it. Okay. Oh my God, it's funny because today I was going to put away, I was putting away clothes because I have to bring them to the basement or whatever. And then I was like, you know, I'm going to put away this. I was like, I'm going to put it on. And I'm like looking at myself and I'm like, I finally achieved my dream of looking like a drag queen. I feel like I am like over the top, which is okay. You know, maybe maybe it's too much for me, but I'm like, this is the kind of a drag look a little bit. It's like a lot. Anyway, it's like an episode of Dallas or something, those episodes. Anyway, it's okay because I'm not used to, you know, to all this makeup, all this stuff. Okay, anyway, so guys, so Fox News, what's going on? Tell us what, you know, what's going on that affects Fox News. Okay, what's going on with Fox News? Just so we know what's going on with them. It's so strange, so strange. What's going on with Fox News? We do treason. What's going on with Fox News? We do treason. We work against American citizens. We work against American citizens. We are Fox News. We make up bullshit. We are Fox News. Stay TV. Yeah. Okay. We are Fox News. We make up bullshit. Okay. We are Fox News. Okay. So what's going on with Fox News? So, okay, let's hear. Okay, I'm just gonna get all the cards out so that it makes a bit more sense. Okay, so guys, the center we have the Death card upside down. So I feel like I've been thinking from yesterday to today, I was just doing a little research on a few cards, and also this the whole concept of upside down cards, because we have here the sun. So because basically upside down cards, sometimes they invert the meaning. Sometimes they say, they're just saying this hasn't happened yet, or they want something to happen. And I feel here in the case of Fox News, I feel like this means they want to create an ending, okay? Because this is a card of an ending. This could mean they want to avert an ending, but I think in this case, they want to create some sort of ending. That's what I feel like, right? They want to really like create a shift. You know what I mean? Like this division and an ending. So this is interesting because it's a sun. So like I said before, guys, a lot of times, or like say 90% of the time that I see the sun card in the readings that are related to all this Trump stuff that I do on the internet, it's all about seeing something. So this, either they're being looked at, or yeah, I feel like this is also could be success, but I don't think this is the context of the Mueller investigation. Okay, so this is basically, I think they are looking at how Fox News may have contributed to some sort of an ending or a transition of some sort. Okay. And this is a 10 of Pentacles upside down. This is a card of, as you can see, most people know that it's just the best card for money quantity in tarot in many ways, okay? So upside down, it means that they could either be having some sort of financial problems, or that the money is weird, or like how they want to, I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, so either they want to, like, I don't think there's money laundering, but those kinds of things. So either it's like they are losing, they were, you know, and I think I may have read it, that they were losing money or something like that, okay? And Diane just brought up something here that I just want to read for you guys who are not in the chat. It's interesting. She said, so weird how they just sold off their entire company to Disney, except for Fox News. It was very unexpected. Yes, and I think, you know why, Diane? Because I feel like they must have a lot of secrets. You know what I mean? With the news. So I feel like they can't, there's a price, there will be a huge price to pay if they sell it and then people discover it. Like, that would be pretty massive. Okay. So anyway, so here's some sort of money issues, okay? And then the stork is a card of transition, positive transition. It could be movement, migration, okay? And what I think this means is that, from the context of the question and looking at some of the other questions here, is this is a card of progress, literally speaking. So we know that Fox News does not like progress, right? That's their whole platform. They want to stay in a past that doesn't even exist. So I feel like by resisting progress, they're losing money, okay? Or the progress is making them lose money. And here we have the card of greed. This is the 4 of Pentacles upside down. That's greed. Okay, a person who does not want this. It's like miser card, okay? And this is a man. So this could be Rupert Murdoch, I believe, okay? This is a man, probably leadership, or a person who stands for their leadership. This is the Wheel of Fortune upside down. That means the fortunes, again, I see a pattern of changing fortunes, okay? It's almost like things are going downhill or something's changing, okay? And then there's a deal. So he makes some sort of deal, probably to avert things going downhill. Now, I'll put this together, and you guys see that, yeah, it's like that in the end, the man feels like, now it's actually making more sense for me. Now I feel like the man made a deal for a positive change. Although obviously I'm reading, when you read the cards together, it's 90% or 80% about the Lenormands. It's just that the Tower gives context, gives more of the story, but now I see it. It's like when the man saw that he was going to lose, so there was a lot to lose by, you know, they were going to lose as the world progressed. And as progress became a reality, okay, here, so you have positive, like progress. The man wants progress, but I think here in the context is like, he sees that in the background, everything it's turning against him. Okay, so the money is not as much as it used to be. He feels like he has to hold on to his position no matter what. He's greedy. He wants to hold on no matter what cost. And he sees that the world, the zeitgeist in the world is turning against him. So he makes some sort of deal and now the card shifts to kind of a progress regardless of political progress. Progress in the sense of like changing the position that they were in to something better. That's the past or the context. And now here we have a card. Oh my God. I feel like I'm on now. It's like boring. You guys are like, I'm already expecting it. So it's like, oh, look, justice. Oh, right now, this is the present. Okay, so justice is right up on top of them. And what do we have? Oh, oh my God, no way. My favorite channel. Oh no, oh no. Death. Oh, oh my God. What am I gonna do without Sean Hannity? I don't know what to do. I watch him every night. Every night I watch Sean Hannity. Oh my God. You know, by the way, yesterday, for the first time in my life, I heard his voice because I had seen his image, and I was surprised because I thought he would sound a lot like whoa, 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 like that. So, you know, something like that. Whoa, I can't believe. No, but he sounds like a newscaster, which is almost like it's scarier actually, because he's like, well, the Mueller. So it's like, you know, it's kind of like scarier because it sounds legit. Like he looks crazy, and it's sort of like. And by the way, like I said, guys, I watch Drag Race, and Drag Race, the drag queens, they wear wigs. So they have a whole thing about like, do not put your hairline right here. And then his hairline is like right here. And I'm like, it's kind of weird. It looks like a wig, you know, it looks like a bad wig. Anyway, so this is justice and death. So justice is going to create a negative transition for them in some way, okay? It's interesting because it's not upside down, okay? So meaning it may not be necessarily about them, but something legal is going to create a transition or an ending for them. Yes, Donna said, I love RuPaul. Yes. So Diane, maybe more. Yeah, we'll see. We'll look into it more, guys. So, okay. And now it's interesting because I showed you before that the card right below, it's also about death. So we'll see when we'll see all the cards together. This will make more sense. And this is Ace of Pentacles upside down. Oh, that's nice. Did I watch it? That's cool. It makes me cool. Yeah, no, I know. RuPaul is cool regardless. You know what I mean? Anyway, so Ace of Pentacles upside down, guys, is some money problem. Like meaning like the money, there's issues related to money. And what do we have here? Loyalists. So, okay. So we'll see. We'll see what, like in context, what that means. So when we look at all these together, we see an ending through the looking at the loyal, like once because we have here on top of it the justice. So the justice looks at the loyalists, right? So it looks, the justice is here, and then there's an ending. Underneath here, there's also an ending. So I feel like they're sensing that because we have the avert death underneath the sun here, I think they're sensing that there's going to be a big end to them or a big transition because they are loyal to we know who. Okay. So so that's the center. Now the future, I find it strange because it's not very negative. Okay. I have to look into this and see. This is a card of won't be a person. This is a harvest. Okay. It's like collecting money later. Upside down, that means not collecting money. So they're going to have even more financial problems. This is older man, okay? I think because of Trump. They won't be able to collect. Yes, because of Trump. And I think here, now it's actually making more sense. This is temperance. Temperance is balance. And this is a heart here. So I feel like the values are, what I feel like this is telling us is that the values are going to change. Like the climate in the country is going to change into balance. Okay. And this is a card of starting to execute plans. And the house, so it could be the White House also. Now it may, it's like, it's very interesting reading actually, because in isolation, a lot of these cards like make sense, but then they change a lot if you put them together. Okay. I thought it was positive, but now I'm like, no, actually it's pretty negative when I stop and think about it. Okay. Because we have here the value, so it's funny because if we see this together, it shows the values of the older man in the White House. Okay, so it's pretty clearly obviously what they are. Fox News really does represent the values of Trump. Okay, so the role, that's their role really, is to explain the values of Trump. Now, I'm going to show you guys now just a kind of like a review here of what all of this is saying. So in the context we have, they had some sort of financial issues and they were resisting progress. So they made some sort of deal, okay, to continue to work. And then here we have, they are sensing that an ending is coming because they know that justice is going to bring an ending to what they're doing, or once justice begins looking at them, they're trying to avert death. So they're really doing everything they can because they're connected to, they're loyalists to the president, okay? And here it's confirming that they reflect the values of the president, okay? Now, if we look, let's look at the rows, because the rows also say very interesting things, okay? And because the question really was, what is up with them? Okay, that was the basic question, what's going on? So on top of the row, because this is what's supposed to be on their mind, like the rows are like what's on their mind, what's happening. So the transition is going to end. Like they thought they were going to get better or really create a change, but this change is coming to an end through their association with Dotard, because here's the card of Dotard. Okay. So, that's it. So basically an ending to this progress through their association with Dotard. They sense, because justice is right here. So justice is really what affects them. Okay, there's several cards that are about major arcana, but they know that something's coming. Why are they cooked? Well, because it showed here, Michelle, that on the left, that there's money problems, power, basically. They want power. And Murdoch has always said, I don't know a whole lot about him, but he has always said that he likes power. And he wants, like, for example, if you own a TV, let's say, for example, I'm trying to think of an example. It's a little bit like if they can change the climate of the country, and if they are powerful, it's just about power. He likes power. Okay, media has, because I feel like it's hard to see now because media has lost a lot of power. But it used to be that they were super powerful, like so much more powerful than we know. Okay, and so and I feel like Murdoch, he's very, he's Australian, he's done a lot in England, for example. It's like all those, there was a scandal where I think he wiretapped a lot of people for I forgot what it's called. Their tabloids in England are hardcore over there. They could kill the careers of politicians. They do a lot of things. But there was a scandal of like one of his newspapers, I forgot which one, recording people. Okay, recording politicians, the children of politicians, and then putting those things in the paper. Even the actress Sienna Miller, her phone was tapped. Yeah, so then she'll be like, she said that, I think she went on the trial and said that she started getting really paranoid that her friends were like betraying her because she couldn't understand how things that were so intimate were getting out to the press. And it's because they recorded her, tapped her phone. Is that crazy? Okay, so this is a greedy man. And he's afraid of death. Like he's like wants to hold on to his power because if they look at everything that's going on, it's probably going to create an ending. Okay. And so at the same time, it's also about values for him, in a way or another. Okay. So it's like he finds success, or he wants success through the spreading of his own, of these values. Okay. Which are described here as the heart. Okay. And here's the deal with the loyalist. Okay, I believe here's the loyalist in the White House. Okay, being loyal to the White House. So there is a deal to turn things around through their loyalty in the White House. Okay, so that just explains the situation. But I think what this, if anything, this reading has showed us that they are aware of what's going on. Okay, in the sense that they know that the end is near. Okay, they are a lot more afraid than they let it be known. Okay, they understand that they've made a deal with the White House to support them, but that now that you know, the Mueller investigation is like getting to them because it's right on top, right next to them, things are going to change because of their association with Trump. Okay, now, and that there's like, they made a deal because they knew, it's almost like, I feel like here they are aware they're losing, and they were like all collectively made a deal, say, let's do this, let's make this happen. Okay, so that they could avert their outcome, these outcomes. Okay, because if you think about it also, this is what, now it's making a bit more sense, all those money cards. For us, it's hard to believe in a way, because it makes no sense, because they've lost a lot of advertisements, okay, because of all their positions. But if you think of how rich Rupert Murdoch is and all those people, okay, well, him, I'm sorry, just think about him. Then we know that it's not just about money, it's about power, right? Because like he's already made the money that he needs, okay? It's not, for him, it's not about that. It's about having control and setting the tone of politics in the most powerful country in the world. Okay, that's more, it's almost like that's bigger than money. This would help them financially, yes, indeed. But I don't know that that's, you know what I mean? I don't know that that's just, that's it. That's only this. Okay. So now that, you know, actually I was going to ask about Mueller, but I'm going to shuffle again for Mueller. But now that we're here, I think since it was just about the basics of Fox News, I think it would be interesting to see how they change over the years. So let's do a 2018, 2019, 20, 25 years. Okay, let's see here. Because I think that will give us a picture of what, like, that will give us like the sense of like where they're, like how they're doing, okay, overall, how they do. So guys, this is amazing what came out. It's so perfect. This is exactly what's going on. So basically here, okay, so this is a card, like this is a card of illusions, okay, of a person who believes an illusion. Like this is a card of people who create illusion and push others to believe in them. So basically this is a card of propaganda, literally, okay, the fake news card. And this is a mountain, okay. Mountain is a card that indicates either long-term problems, or I've looked at this way lately, obstruction. So I feel they want to create obstruction by pushing propaganda. That's how I read it, okay? And this is an hermit. And the hermit is a card of someone who goes inside of themselves, or work in some ways in isolation, solitude, okay? And the tree. And this is the tree. I came to see it as org charts. So they are part of the family. And I think what this means is that they keep people, the hermit with that other card to me means like they keep them in that, like, that spell or something, okay? And that this is a card of focusing, working hard on something. And what are they working hard on? Hello, hello, the foreign power. So they are working for the foreign power, on behalf of the foreign power. And this is interesting because, again, the card that comes up, has been coming up lately, it's like the card of a person who leaves. Okay, so someone's leaving the public eye. So if we put these together, to me, it means creating an obstruction for the people, right? For the family, or the creating obstructions through propaganda for the people who are a little bit isolated, for people to have the kind of like isolated mindset. Okay, so it's like this group of people are obstructed through propaganda. And this is the work that they do on behalf of the foreign power in the public eye, okay, in the network. Okay, so it's almost like they give total control. I mean, this is what the cards are saying, guys, really. They give control. This is the card of the network. They control the network to the foreign power. And I wonder what the nine, this is, I don't know if this says that the public is going to turn away from them eventually, or if the network is going to abandon. This is an abandon. It's like if they will eventually leave this. This is the last card of this 2018. So I wonder if they will leave this eventually. If they'll be like, it's too much. I wonder if we're gonna, gonna see that. So this is, again, it starts like this. So it's like obstruction on behalf of or through the foreign power, and creating a place for the family tree of isolated people, and on the online. Okay. Yeah, but Diana, well, if they're having financial problems, they're getting financial support from Russia, probably. Yes and no. I remember doing a reading one time that said that they're getting some sort of payment. And I remember somebody else had said that there was like something else, like some deal or something like that. But I think it's more than financial, okay? I think it's more. There's more. Yeah, power. It's just, I think, hardcore power. So let's see, 2019, what happens? Yeah, so guys, so here's this is a card of Mueller, but it's upside down, okay? So I don't think this is Mueller just because it's upside down. It's a card of manipulation. And this is a card of laws and the government. It could be legal problems for them. I'll show you why I think it is. And this is a card of a victory or cut. And I think like this is like, I think they're going to lose their victory, or like, okay, why do we have, look, guys, woo, goodbye, Fox News, goodbye, Fox. Because, okay, what I think this means, this is pretty interesting, and I think this answers the question that I had, 2019, Diane. Donna said, so Russia uses them like Facebook to push propaganda. No, it's bigger than that, because technically Facebook, well, that's how they defend themselves. They don't create the content. Okay, they just like, they say like they're kind of like this place where you put the content. In case of Fox News, they create the content. Okay, so it's bigger. It's like they have to have a connection, or otherwise they will not, otherwise they would not be able to. It's like they have to be connected somehow. They create the content. I'm trying to think of like an example. It's a little bit, this is gonna sound like, I just thought of a religious example, but it's sort of like, if you're, Jenny, I'm trying to think here, it's a little bit like, let's say you're in the Catholic Church, you're a priest, and you have specific ideas about the church. If you are in the church, like you're supposed to, you can write your own little papers, write your own thing in the magazine, but ultimately your ideas are the ideas of the church. So it's kind of, to me, this is kind of similar. It's like you're all in the same ideology. So it's like the content that they create, ultimately, the voice that they have has to be in tune with whatever, okay? Okay. All right. So here, guys, okay, so this is very interesting here, connected, because you know what I think this is? I think there will be laws, and this is a question, one of the questions I had here. was will laws change to prevent propaganda? And I think this is what happens in 2019, because the law, like the government, and I think the legal system cuts them. And what is it here? Manipulation and like destabilizing their victory. So what I think this means is that there's laws against the manipulation of media related to the government. Okay, so this is cut. This is definitely a cut. So that's what I think. I think the government decides to cut the manipulation that they're involved in. There's going to be some sort of law. And here, this is a card of victory and control. Okay, so I feel like what this says, this is money, guys, or leadership. Okay, so, well, Diana's not, let's be open. Okay, what I think about this is not about First Amendment. It's something like, imagine if they are able to prove that Fox is connected to Russia, like they receive their, you know, their like propaganda like channel, like they say what they're like, the propaganda comes from Russia, like that's a problem. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that they could say whatever they want, but there has to be some sort of law where like they can't just, I feel if you accept the, like, how do you say it? If, for example, I accept, let's say, for example, that I have a channel, even this channel, if I was like doing something where everything I say, somebody pays me from Russia, okay, that I'm a foreign agent in some way or another, okay? It's not about First Amendment in the sense, it's sort of like, if you are the recipient, like somebody pays you to say specific things, then not just talking points, but it's like, there's something, it's called a FARA Act, F-A-R-A. It has like Foreign Agent Registration Act. Basically, it's like if you work on behalf of a foreign country, then you have to register. Okay, so that's kind of how it is. Okay, so it's like it's illegal to take money and not register. So that's what I think this is, FARA, exactly. All right, so anyway, so here there's a focus on finances, on leadership and finances. We'll talk more about this, because what I think, this is confirming to me this feeling that there's going to be a much stronger, I don't even want to say it's regulation, but they really are going to look into the leadership or possibly their finances, okay? Not just Fox's, but in general after the Mueller investigation, because this is 2019. And this is a woman, fair woman. It could also be just good, like balanced emotions, okay? Because it's a queen and elections. So they're going, this is, okay, guys, so this is, I feel like there's going to be a focus on the financial connection related to the election. Okay, so there's going to be a really huge focus on what are the financial connections related to the election. So in every sense, okay. So here, if we connect all the parts together, then we have here first an ending to manipulation of the government. This may you know what, this makes more sense. An ending to the manipulation of the government probably through the media. And here, the government looks into the financial focuses. This is a focus, okay? Strong focus on the finances related to elections. And it cuts the, it cuts basically all of these financial shadiness and anything financial related to what happened in the election. And by election, I mean 2016, okay? And Donna's, you know, there's this conversation about First Amendment. I just don't, like I said, I don't believe it's really about a First Amendment. It's about money. Like if you work, that's just a basic FARA Act. If you work on behalf of a foreign government, you have to register. For example, they said that now RT is a foreign, you know what I mean? So, okay, so that's it. This is 2019. Because I just want to get like the next 4 years to see where they're, you know, where they're headed, what's going on with them, okay? And this is a card about disappointment, okay? And Fox, oh look, the Fox is disappointment. There's disappointment. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh. And this is financial. Okay, discussions, financial meetings, financial discussions. So you know what I'm thinking? I wonder if there's discussions to sell it. Somebody might buy it or sell it, okay? So Fox News is kind of upset that there's a lot of meetings, a lot of discussions about something related to money. And look, I'm so sorry. Look, they are entangled. They are very entangled. And that causes pain, causes aggression and pain. Oh, I'm sorry. Does it feel bad, Fox News? Does it really feel bad? Oh. So this is a woman. You know what I'm thinking, guys? For some reason, I'm remembering. Yes, I'm remembering. For some reason, Kamala Harris came, or I don't know why, but I feel like there's a woman here, and I believe this may be this is just my instinct, okay? This may be a politician, and she comes into the picture, and I think these are laws against them, exactly. So this is a new person comes into the picture, probably a woman. It could also be the new era, okay? That we talked about it before, seeing that there's like a lot of women in the government after this. Where is it? Okay, so, okay, so if I look at this together, so painful news, okay, this is a new literally a card of news, aggressive news, or basically painful news. Okay, painful outcome. So you know what I think, guys, you know what I believe this is, 220? I think this is like, you know what they call, remember how they had those things, for example, I forgot what they call it. Microsoft had those like hearings, hearings. I believe, you know, this is a lot of talk, and this is like, they're upset. It's like, I feel like the disappointment on Fox News is gonna lead to hearings, some sort of hearing. I believe this is probably gonna lead to this. This is gonna be, they're gonna be aggressive, and it's gonna be painful for them, okay? These hearings. And the news are going to be painful. Okay, so there's going to be painful news because it's painful because they're entangled. They are entangled. I feel like I see these hearings, okay, especially before, because I feel like they're talking about, this is just like, guys, just intuition, okay? I see these images of like politicians and society at large talking about 2020 election is coming, and they don't want the election to be affected in the same way that the last one was. So they want to hold the hearings before the election so that they don't get away with the same bullshit they did before. And they're upset because they felt like, oh, we already paid. I feel like I see them guys talking. They're like, oh, we already paid the price. The laws changed. Why do we have to, why does this have to happen? But still, they're not like it goes on. This is the price they're paying. Okay, the price they're paying for what they've done. So let's say 2021, so that it's 4 years, okay? And this is a card of fairness and law, okay? And it's interesting because I think this tells me that like their reputation, like the mood changed due to fairness, okay? And they're worried, okay, this is a card of corruption. It's also a card of loss. And I think in the context of the card above, I think it means that they lose their reputation, because when you go to the very basics of Lenormand, sometimes I feel like I've adopted this card as corruption for the specific Trump reading. So I feel like in this case, it means loss. The basic meaning of the card mice is loss. So they lose their reputation. It could also be that they lose that their reputation becomes one of corruption, which is also would be similar. Okay. And here they have to unburden themselves. I think they find that they're guilty, okay, in many ways. And this is a card of networks and fame, but networks of people in general, not networks of television, okay? So this is like, they are part of the guilty network in a way. And this is finances and covered up, and also problems. So they have financial problems. Okay, this is 2021. They lose their reputation. There's loss of their reputation. Their reputation is connected to the network, probably that network of shady people. And because of the network, there's a lack of, this could also mean that cloud with the money behind it looks like it's not clear if they're going to have enough money to keep going as a business. This could also be really good. Okay, so that's that, guys. Let me just do a quick summary here of what we just saw regarding Fox News. So going back, we see that 2018, they are basically affected. Well, they're doing the work. Let's see here. They're doing the work of, here it is. They're doing the work of obstruction on behalf of power by spreading all these propaganda news, okay? And eventually, towards the end of the year, probably, things change or they leave. They have to leave this behind, but they affect, the network is infected with ideas from the foreign power, okay? And then in the following year, we have laws, probably, that's 2019. We have laws that end up cutting or negatively affecting those who were involved in anything related to the 2016 election. And they have very harsh laws now that look into campaign finances and against manipulation of the government through them or through the media, okay? And then to 20, there are likely to be hearings, public hearings about Fox News in some way or another. And the public, they're going to suffer. They're going to have negative news into 20 because of this conversation, okay, on Fox News, about Fox News. And 221, they have loss of reputation, and it will be unclear if they will have enough money to survive as a company. And that's it. Okay. So that's a timeline for Fox News, guys. Okay, so I'm going to start over here with the cards, and we can now ask the other specific questions about Mueller and about other, let me know what other questions you may have that we haven't covered. Yes, I hope that, exactly. I hope so. So let's, let me know, guys. So like I said, there's still question about Mueller. There's questions about here. Sean Hannity. What does Mueller have on that? What is yes, Michelle? Breitbart. Well, I think we answered the question about the laws. And will the Mueller investigation change? Yes, I also changed Fox News. Yes, it will. So what does Mueller have on that? Please write what, don't say yes. I don't know, because I've said many things. So tell me what the yes means. I don't know exactly what it means. Please be specific on the question you're interested in. And then we can start with that. Okay. And I'm thinking, maybe do Sean Hannity. I think it would be interesting. Okay, good. Yeah, Sean Hannity, I think it would be interesting. Oh, here in Salafat. Okay. So it would be interesting to see what happens to Sean Hannity, because he's he's the face, right, of the pro-Trump thing, the whole thing. Okay. And what happens to him? Okay. So, all right. So Sean Hannity. What happens to Sean Hannity? What's up with Sean Hannity? What's going to happen to Sean Hannity? And guys, I feel like Sean Hannity will be investigated. I feel it. I feel like in some way or like something. Okay. Like his emails and stuff. Okay. If they are not already, like he's not already being investigated. Okay. All right. So Lavinia asked, will Russians assassinate involve people for, Lavinia, Guys, like I said, I've said this before. I don't like these kinds of questions, okay? Because it's like, it's very negative for one thing. And it also like, it's like, I think the purpose of this is like to find out what, like how it affects us, okay? Like, is Trump going to leave? Like, what are these people, all these politicians, okay? They're going to, like, how is it going to affect us, okay? Exactly. As Julie said, Bill O'Reilly disappeared pretty quickly, so maybe these things can change quickly, yes. So what I feel like, anyway, the question about people are going to be killed, I feel like, I don't want to give them too much power, because I've said this recently on the channel, YouTube, people ask these questions like, you know, how people died, and like, how, you know, will we have, for example, somebody said, what was the other day? Somebody asked something. It was, oh, Mueller, what happens if Mueller is fired? And I had to explain to the person, I said, look, if I ask the question, I'm assuming that it's going to happen. I can ask what's going to happen to Mueller, but I'm not going to make a negative positive, you know what I mean? Like a reality of it. So basically what I mean, the whole thing with the questions about a murder, if they're going to be killed, it's like, I'd rather ask a specific question about each person that affects us directly than like a general kind of like fear mongering kind of question. Like, oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure they may kill people, and that's very likely, I'm sure. But, and people have died in Russia as a result of the dossier, right? Stuff like that. So this has happened. It's more like, I don't think that's very productive. You know, I just too dark. I honestly, guys, it's like when these questions are very broad like that, it's also very like, it continues the fear mongering. You know, it's kind of like similar to what I said about the financial questions. Like if you say, oh, the stock market is going to go down, like why? Then it's more important to look at the context of everything so that it doesn't feel like it's totally random. Okay. So anyway. All right, so let's see here. Question about what's up with Sean Hannity? What's happening with Sean Hannity? What's going to happen? What's up with Sean Hannity? And what's going to happen to him regarding the Mueller investigation? Will Mueller investigate Sean Hannity? What's happening with Mueller and Sean Hannity? What's happened with Mueller and Sean Hannity? What's happening with Mueller and Sean Hannity? What's happening with Mueller and Sean Hannity? What's happening with Mueller and Sean Hannity? Sean Hannity, Fox News, Sean Hannity. And did you see that actually in terms of people who died, one person already died, like, but I don't think, honestly, I don't think it was related to Russia, but somebody who was a spokesperson for Rick Gates died in Afghanistan. There was a bomb, but he was a spokesperson for him. He was there. So I feel like, you know, honestly, I don't think this case really has to do anything to do with the Russians, but somebody died already. Okay. But what I feel, guys, and maybe this is like my own projection, I feel like I definitely see people in the FBI giving, and the judges giving those people, anybody involved in this, extremely harsh sentences. So very long sentences. A lot of people are going to die in jail, I think. Honestly, very long sentences to people. Because once they're done with people who give them information, I mean, that's just my feeling, okay? Once they're done with the people that they need, those people that they need in order to get, you know, their information about Trump and so forth, everybody that's below, everybody goes, I think they're all going to jail, okay? Because if you think about, okay, just think about all the Mueller's done all this mafia investigation, okay? So you think of the mafia, obviously the mafia is negative, the mafia has committed all these crimes, but in some ways they have their, like, they do their thing, okay? But if you think about what they've done, these people are like a huge mafia against the entire country. They've committed crimes against 330 million people, however many, okay? So that's what I feel like. This is what I feel. The question about them dying, I think they're just going to die in prison. Seriously, like. I think they should be more scared of the US government than the Russians, honestly. That's what I feel. I would be. No, yeah, Lavinia, no, I don't think, honestly, I don't think so. I feel like, well, hi, Moyer. So yeah, I just feel like, yeah, you know, that's what, I mean, this is my feeling, okay? That's just my feeling, because I see them, like, the people involved, they're like, I've said this before, the vengeance of the FBI is going to be huge. Seriously, huge. Okay, huge. Because they're like, dude, your people are not getting away with this bullshit. Like, there's no leniency for them. And imagine if you're like a person who already does these sort of investigations, okay, like your whole life. And then like you're like very, yeah, exactly what Lavinia said in Australia. Cynthia, log in. The Cynthia says she lost the video. The best thing to do is to come back, leave, but then come back. I think that seems to work for a lot of people. Like log in again or something like that. I think it may work. So anyway, so guys, okay, so that's what I feel anyway. I feel like they're going to have to make this a very serious. There'll be very serious consequences for people involved, because otherwise they'll just keep doing it. Okay. Think about, apparently there were like 40 something people in Watergate alone. Okay, so Sean Hannity. Jackie said maybe 8 years of the Fox, 8 years of Fox, constantly ripping Obama was the Russian setting. Jackie, actually, I don't think it was just the Russians. It's unfair to them to say that this is what had happened. One thing that became clear to me recently that I hadn't thought about is that the whole thing with the Republicans and racism especially, okay, is that they knew or they know that they can't win elections any other way. That they're really the more, and that's the whole thing with immigration. It's not just that they are anti-immigration, is that they know that the more people of color, African-American people they have, the less they're going to win. Okay. Oh, good. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah. So I feel like the more they're going to have, the less Latino people, the less black people they have, the less they're going to win. They can't win. The bottom line, guys, this is what I think. The bottom line here is they know they can't win elections fairly. So they were willing to negotiate with anybody, including the devil, to win. Okay, so that's what I ultimately think, is that they knew that they're like, I mean, these people are, I think, much more corrupt than we know. And this whole thing, the voter suppression, all this stuff has been going on for a long time. So Russia saw an opportunity, a technical opportunity to go in and take advantage of it. And they did it. But the Russians were dealing with people who are much dumber than they were. Okay, so they were much more easily manipulated. Exactly. So I feel like it's not just that they're racist because they're racist. It's just because from a number, this sounds so horrible to say, but it's the truth. From a numbers perspective, darker skinned people are not going to be their voters. Like, that's just like a very direct connection between that, because obviously they've been racist. It's so obvious. If they hadn't been racist, this would not have happened. Okay. But then they see, oh, it's much easier to deport everybody, so that we just are basically like, then we can have more voters on our side. That's how they think. You know, it's like they can't win elections, so they'll do anything. Okay, all right. And this is why, this is why I felt like somebody had asked, why are they so extreme? And now I get it. I really get it, because they need to get the anger out of the white voter. You know what I mean? All those people who are like angry about how the economy has let them down. It's much easier to have anger than to really stop and think. So they're like, yeah, they speak to me. They know my reality. They know exactly what's going on. So I'm going to go out there. I'm going to vote. I'm going to do all of these things. And so that's how they got people to vote for them. Okay. I feel like it's by understanding how dramatically bad their situation is. You know what I mean? In the sense that the reality is that the numbers are against them. Okay, so they'll do anything. They understand how bad everything is, and that's why they had to create gerrymandering. They did everything in the book, So, okay, Sean Hannity. Oh, I'm sorry. Look, guys, the first, okay, this is the first cards here. Okay, so he's guilty of helping turn the world upside down. Okay. I'm sorry, Sean Hannity. Propaganda card. Oh, sorry. Oh my God, look, guys, oh my God, guys, I'm like, I cannot believe it. I have to show you. This is ridiculous. This is like how the cards, like I said, Diane and I were talking, like I was doing a reading for her, and she sort of said jokingly, she's like, oh, it's a, what is it? Disclaimer. This is just a story. But this is like, guys, this is crazy. I can't believe this. This is like, look, propaganda. And what do we have? Anchor. He's an anchor for propaganda. Isn't that crazy? How could you even put it together? It's crazy because that's exactly what he is. He is like, he's an anchor for propaganda. Oh my God. Crazy. Oh my God. Look, it's, oh my God, this is amazing. So this is the world upside down, right? So, and this is news. So it's the news, like, of that want to turn the world upside down. Oh my God, this is pretty damn. It's very cool, very on point, because a lot of these guys, like I've said before, these Republican type guys, I'm like, I don't even remember their faces because they seem so, they're just so like, they have no expression or something. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, okay, guys. So I showed you before the other cards. So the beginning here was, it's funny again. The same thing with showed in the reading about Fox News alone. This is a apathy at progress. Like they get upset when they see progress. Okay. And he's an anchor for propaganda. Okay, so he's an anchor. And it's interesting that we have the Justice card here. I don't know exactly what it means. Oh my God, exactly. Betty Jo said MAGA, Mueller ain't going away. Exactly. So this is a Justice card and the book. I wonder what this means, if it's like there's a secret, like, I wonder if it means that there's like justice is secretly like on his case or something, or if, yeah, the book is also a card of knowledge. So justice has knowledge. Maybe, I wonder, you know? Oh, guys, you know, okay, this is what I'm getting. I'm kind of like excited about it. So here we see this is like a card of progress, but also, you know what it is? This is a transmission. I've said this before. I've seen this card also in like financial transactions as like just transactions and transmission. So I feel like, I really believe this is like a transmission. He's an anchor to their transmission. Okay, so in a sense of like a movement between, because his propaganda, right? So he receives the propaganda in secret. But this is what I think is cool. The justice is right behind him. So I feel like he's being, what is it? Surveilled. Something about it. Okay, I feel like justice is right there, knows the secret. Justice knows his secret. That's what I feel like it's showing. Okay, justice understands how he received this information secretly as an anchor. That's what I get. It's kind of interesting. And here, this is the second column. This is a world upside down. Like he news of the world upside down. Again, another card of like putting the world upside down. Again, here, the world is right here, little world, but turning it upside down, and guilty. So news of his guilt. Is key. Yeah, oh my God. News of his guilt. This is interesting, okay? And this is another card, interesting card, the devil upside down. So obviously we know that he because of all these cards have indicated that he wants to turn the world upside down. He's an agent of propaganda. Have the world upside down, but this is the devil. So I feel like the devil is when a person believes or is involved in some sort of bondage. It doesn't have to be bad, but sort of like when you believe illusions or like believe in like appearances and so forth. But when it's upside down, I feel like you're the person who creates these illusions and you want people to believe them. And here it's key. So it's saying that he's key. He's like a key devil's agent. Okay. Key devil's agent. And here it's saying, and this is now, guys, really. So this is a news of his guilt, that he's a key agent of the devil's work, right? In the sense that he creates these, even not outside of a religious context, in the sense that he creates these illusions. He's part of like turning the world upside down, creating these illusions that turn the world upside down. And he's a key agent in this devil situation, okay? And here we have aggression and dog. So I feel like he's a loyalist, right? He's a loyalist to this aggression. He has the reputation of manipulation. So manipulation is really the core of his reputation. Okay. And then at the heart of it, basically his values are money, financial. Motives are financial, it looks like. Okay, now we'll see them. Now this is interesting because I'll show you guys like what the other meanings that come from this that I think are interesting. Okay, so it shows that the core of the situation, because I'll show you the second row here. The core of the situation is like the anchor for propaganda is guilty of wanting to turn the world upside down. And it affects his reputation as a manipulator. So the fact that the anchor is guilty, like the guilt of the anchor will affect his reputation. And also, this is also an interesting card, sort of related to prison. So it's sort of like there'll be long-term pay for his guilt. And this is going to affect his reputation. I don't know, that it's not clear here whether he's going to prison, but I believe he may be in that, just because the cards here are pretty serious. They're all pretty intense. Okay. Okay. This is the center. So this describes the situation. This is, like I had said before, the present, which is the news of his act, is sort of like he's an agent for the devil, like, for like the illusion. But here it describes him as guilty. This is another, it's sort of like the cross like this and like that. So this is like, he's a guilty anchor of propaganda, and his reputation will be seriously affected. Okay, now the other interesting thing that I wanted to talk about here is like I said, the justice card here and the book. So I feel like literally what it says is that justice has knowledge of what he's doing. Justice has key knowledge of how he has implanted or like worked to spread this like bondage news, you know what I mean? The sense of like falsity, false prophets. Because of like his values are financial. And you know what I think this means, guys? I feel like they probably, you know how there's this like meme, people say, show me the receipts. That's kind of like what it is, I think here. They have the receipts. Okay, the financial receipts, and I think they also have secret communications. That's what I feel like. I feel like they see the key, transaction statements, those kinds of things. So I feel like the heart here, it's like saying that his motivation is financial, and but they have the proof. Like justice has the secret, and is a key secret, meaning it's not just a random secret. That's like a key. It's a key secret. Okay. Okay. So, and I don't think, and I thought, sometimes this card means a person who's going to collaborate with Mueller, or like who's going to be a key witness. I don't see it here because he has guilt right above it. Okay. So I don't think that this is the case. Okay. And then on the other end here, we have a person who is like receives messages of some sort, receives news. This is interesting, guys. So he receives news, right? So it's like news or information is transmitted to him through loyalists or because he's a loyalist. Okay, so that there is some sort of proof that he's part of the gang. He's part of the treason gang, okay? And like I said, guys, this is funny. Something about it, something is coming. Like, I feel like just intuition. I feel like it goes, the whole thing, the thought I've been having about the FBI is coming back. They're like, we're not going to let this guy, they're like, I don't care if I work like 80 hours a day or whatever. They're like, we're going to dig underneath everything these guys have done. And we're going to find it. We're going to get them. Like, they're really, if you are involved in any of these, like with any of these people, like, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, if it shows that you're somehow involved in all of the scheme, they're going to get you for like, you know, traffic violations, anything, like any little thing, or like somebody said, taxes. Exactly. If you did one thing wrong, then like, that's what I think is going to happen. Like, you know how they caught Al Capone? I'm not saying he's Al Capone, but you know what I mean? They caught Al Capone on taxes. So that's kind of like, I think, similar. They will be seen as the enemy, okay, of this, like, of the country, which they are. But okay. All right, guys. So let's hear. I want to know about him. Okay, so should I ask about him and Mueller? Because this was just a situation. I think it explained a lot, but I feel like, will he be indicted? You know what? Could you mind if I ask the question? Will Sean Hannity be indicted? What are the chances? Well, okay. A, what does Mueller have on him? A, what does Mueller have on him? B, will he be indicted and go to jail? Okay. What does Mueller have on him? And will he be indicted or go to jail? Okay, so I'm trying to think here, guys. So, what is it? Mueller, will he be indicted, go to jail? What happens to him at the very end? Because the cards here are very, like, I'm like, whoa, dude, I didn't expect the cards to be as bad, but they are. Okay, so the first question was, what does Mueller have on him? Okay, and this is a person leaving something behind and a mountain. And I almost, you know, I'm trying to think here in the context of him, like, what does this mean? And I feel like it almost means like he leaves his country behind, or he like it's a turncoat. To me, I for some reason I see, because of the coat, I feel like this is a turncoat. Like, he leaves something behind, he betrays something. That's what I feel like. Okay, so obstruction. I feel like this is a card of obstruction. This is a card of long-term problems. So I feel like he went the other direction in some way and created an obstruction. And this is a card of Wheel of Fortune upside down. I feel like he's involved in turning the world, the fortune upside down of the country. Oops, and here's a coffin. So that's that. So it's an ending for him. And I'm like, whoa, kind of, let's see what it says. So it could also mean, in some way, it could also mean that he has a role as ending the obstruction, like ending the problems that those people have had, like, right, the Trump or like those ultra right-wing people. He wants to make life easier for them, so therefore remove the problems. This could also be another reading of it. This is a person who's greedy. He's greedy in terms of leadership, is greedy, and also he's greedy with personal finances, okay? And this is like interesting because I feel like this is like undoing of a victory, and this is like the network. So he helps in a way to turn things around through the network, because obviously he's an anchor, but also in the sense of like the public. So it's like he creates smoke and mirrors, because this is also lack of clarity, this card. So lack of clarity in the public eye. So this is also maybe leadership in the public eye, or leadership of the network, because this, will have to remember, this is like, what the question was, what does Mueller have on him? Okay. So he has maybe some sort of his role in obstruction, and his money, something related to his money and his role in obstruction, and creating an end to the obstruction maybe of his ideas by affecting the leadership on the network. Okay, so something about talking, like getting money, okay, the money that affects him personally, I think, money that affects the leadership in terms of him being the leadership of the network, and also Trump being the leadership of the network, and also how leadership is represented in the network. Okay, so this is interesting. I don't know if this says that this is going to create an ending for him because of this, but that's what it's showing. Okay. And then I asked the question, is he going to be indicted or go to jail? Okay. This is interesting. One time I used to not exactly, Cynthia said, I think it existed before Trump. Exactly. These scripts found each other. I think, guys, Cynthia said that. I think it was the perfect storm. It was like they were all vibrating on the same level. Okay. So they created, it was like, in a way, this had to happen. It sounds horrible, but it's true. I feel like the momentum was on their side. Okay. Even if it was illegal, even if like the whole thing, I do believe now, doing the readings that we've done and reading stuff, that I think the election was stolen. I really believe that. It's not just, I used to think it was like, oh, they used the bots to change public opinion, which I think they did to an extent, but I also believe now more than ever that the numbers were changed. That's just my belief. Okay. All right. So anyway, so the question, this is going back to the question here, which is, will they be indicted or go to jail? So one person one time, I forgot who, said, that reminded me that the Page of Swords is the spy card. Okay, so literally. So this is a spy card, okay? And this is a foreign power. So in some way or another, because it looks like he has some sort of spy-like role, it's going to come out, okay? And this is a card of getting through, being aggressive, for the network, and to here the case of network of people, I think. Okay, so network and as a kind of an abstraction. So he was responsible for this aggression, you know, and or maybe he could also, you know, so it's like network of spies in some ways. Okay, it sounds so harsh because the spy, the Page of Swords underneath is like, it's like the page is a child, or is like a minor character, but it has that connotation of a person who's a spy, or like acting away but doing something else. Okay, so it's like also that he is pursuing the dreams of the foreign power, which is something that's showed in the Fox News reading. Okay, and this is averting death or creating death. Again, Russia, because it's like another thing, guys. The second card that relates to Russia is right there. So reminder that this question is about whether he goes to jail or is indicted. Okay, and then underneath we have, oops, Emperor and a snake. So either it's also could be his position of power, but I think he's a snake. A snake is another card that also has the connotations of a spy. So it could also be, in a way, I wonder if this could be Putin. Okay, so it's like he's a snake for the lady. It's like basically he's in some ways an agent. Okay, so here we have foreign power, most likely Russia, and turning things around, creating an ending for Russia. as a snake, okay? And he's part of this network of people who are trying to influence things, okay? Influence probably the public. So that's that. That's a network of snakes. Foreign power, most likely Russia. So that's the question of whether he'll be indicted or go to jail. I think probably yes, just because you have these cards that explain his role, and the role is not that positive. Okay, so then I asked the question, what happens to him afterwards? Okay, what happens to him after, at the end of the investigation? Like, what are the ultimate consequences? So this is a person upright, like King of Wands. I don't know if it's him or someone. Someone may. And I think this is a card of this is a poverty, okay? Trying to leave financial problems and lots of money. And what I get from here, guys, is that I almost feel like his money is going to go, or like they're going to take his money. I don't know. Let's see. We'll see here what happens. He had an opportunity to make money, and this is a country upside down. There's harmony at home, and the gentleman here could be him. And a victory of some sort is not sure. Like, he's gonna have a hard time getting to this place again, the place of like recognition. Okay. It's cloudy, basically. So here, I think what this means, the gentleman under a cloud. Like, I feel like the cloud is sometimes used like the cloud of, he's under a cloud of suspicion. That's kind of interesting here. So here, if we look at this together, it feels like the opportunist man has his finances under a cloud. So I feel like there's like a lot of, like I said before, the whole thing about the image I keep seeing of people in the FBI being like, this is life or death for me. I will die before I give up on this investigation. So I feel like the attacks on the FBI have made them even more determined to find out shit on people, those people, okay? And I almost feel like, I don't want to say this, but almost like, I don't think there would be abuse, but like in the sense of like, they'd be like, whatever little thing you've done, like, you're not gonna get a break. You know how sort of like, for example, it's so weird because a lot of people have said, for example, like, how weird is it that Fox News is like committing all these illegal acts when they say that they are all about the law enforcement, right? So it's similar to like a person who kills a cop, like kind of like in a different way, but sort of like if you do something against the like law enforcement agencies at the scale that they're doing, right? Whether they're not only firing like James Comey, they're doing all these horrible things. They're also like attacking the institution. So the moment the institution has a power back, they're gonna fight. Like, they're gonna go after these bitches, and they'll be like, bitches, And imagine like if I'm like now like going like imagining in like a prison show where they're like, these guys go to jail, and both the guards in jail and the actual inmates will be against them. You know what I mean? Because they've betrayed the country, they betrayed their own people. Like, okay, so I just want to ask, guys. Okay, this is just my personal question I'll ask about him. Will Sean's Hannity indictment come out in the next 3 months at all? Yes or no? I don't know. I don't know, guys. Because where is the letter card? I don't get it. Where is? No, I don't know. Nothing's sure. I feel like I want to know what's gonna happen. Anyway, I don't know if when it's gonna come out. But basically, I'm getting here, guys, like this feeling that he's on the second, like it's saying here, second row, like second. I feel like first they're gonna go for the people in the government now, right, who are directly affecting us. And then they're going to go after everybody, right? Because that's what I thought. And I think the reason why they will not, yes, tears, exactly. The reason why I think these people will not see pardon or anything like that is because, like I said, these are like if this government survives, then I think the government in the sense of like the American institutions survive this attack. What happens after they survive is revenge. You know, in the sense of like they're going to go after every single person who contributed to this, who was silent, you know, who let this happen. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, that's what I think. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so let's see here. What else do we have? I did Sean Hannity. Yeah, surrogates, connection between the Fox News and Russia. Oh, I have on them Sean Hannity, Alex Jones. Right. You know, I'm gonna like separate the cards now again. I almost feel like, guys, of not doing what happens to Breitbart, because Robert Mercer owns Breitbart, and I'm wondering about this. I'm kind of curious what happens to Breitbart. And Breitbart, a lot of people have said, in a way, it's almost more Alex Jones. Okay, let's look at Alex Jones. I feel like Breitbart is owned by Mercer, so that's. But let's do. Do you want to do? Do you guys want Alex Jones? Yeah, it'd be interesting to look at these guys, you know, because I feel like what happens to people is an indication. And I'm like, guys, I don't know. Does he go to jail? I don't know if Sean Hannity, but I feel like what I'm seeing here, actually, at least the cards, as far as Sean Hannity is concerned, that they're very dark. They're very serious cards. So I don't know. I didn't think that he was that involved. Okay, but I think it's like, not only is it being surveilled right now, but he looks like he's involved. So anyway, so okay, guys, so let's see. What else? Oh, and I wanted to say, guys, to talk about things that have come up in the last few days. I'm sure you probably have all heard the news that in the Netherlands, they have revealed that their intelligence agency has a recording of the hackers in Russia hacking the election. They have because I read the article, and Holland. So basically, I read the article. They were Dutch. So basically, yeah. So then what happens is this intelligence agency, a long time ago, they hacked. Okay, this group is called Bear. I forgot what it's called. It's like the group of hackers in Russia, very high level hackers. So they're saying that they have proof that it's from the Kremlin, like the Kremlin directs them, A, and B, like that they got into the video camera system, not just the computers, so they could see everybody. They were like have recordings of the actual people. They probably have their names by now, but they like have recordings of the actual people in the buildings doing it. And they were able to watch it. Yeah, so they said that it's not going on anymore, but I believe this is correct. I believe they said it. They're like, we're not doing this anymore right now. You know, sometimes they change things or whatever, but we can't get into that access. We can't access that anymore. But if you just look like, just Google Dutch intelligence hacking election, something like that. It's gonna show. It's like the article about how they were watching it as it was happening. Okay. So this is, you know what, this makes sense, because this is probably why, you know how like the CIA like directors were like on this news shows that something had really happened, and because and I read some article that said this explains why they couldn't speak up, because they didn't have the intelligence. It belonged to the Dutch or something like that. So yeah, but I think, you know what I feel also, guys, that this happened, I think the news came out now, I think, because they want to send a little message to them. Okay, they want to send a little message about the whole thing. Like they want, you know what I mean? To the Trump crew that they got it. You know, they have the proof that they can't, there's no way to run. You know what I mean? It's big. Because if you think about like the craziness of the Republicans, like nothing what justifies they're crazy? Like, why would you go all the way? Exactly. That's what I mean. Exactly. Trump wanted, the whole thing is coming out, you know? And Cynthia Allen said they told the US while Obama was in office. You know, it's true. I think it's probably true. But I think, because I, you know, we know what it was, and now I'm thinking that they have the hacking of the DNC. That's what they have. I don't think they have hacking of like the election. I don't think it's true. But I think also, I agree that Obama should have been harsher, but at the same time, I don't think they were naive almost, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think they were naive. They weren't aware of the consequences or like the height of exactly unprecedented. They weren't aware of like the degree of everything they were doing, okay? And how coordinated everything was. Okay, that's what I think it is. So that's number one. And the other news is that, of course, you've seen it, that it came out that Trump did want to fire Mueller, but the other guy said no. And I think, like, hello. I think, I don't, you know, the guy, he wants to make himself sound so good now. Don McGahn. Don McGahn is I'm sorry, he's a horrible person. He is, like I said before, he's somebody who wanted to put all these horrible judges, conservative judges, into place. Okay, so I don't think he's a hero. I'm sorry. I think he wants to cover his tracks, but I don't think, I've done a reading on him. I don't think things look exactly, I don't think things look so good for him. I don't think they will. Like I said, and I remember this reading guys had done. I remember that I had said, because Mueller is a lawyer, these guys are lawyers, he's like, we're not going to let this guy get away with shit, you know, because no, we can't. We like, it'll have to give an example. Okay, all right. So let's look here, guys. So what's up with Alex Jones? Yeah, exactly. Not just this bar, but and I think he may actually serve time in prison, a couple of 2 or 3 years. Don McGahn, actually, I just see. I mean, just my image. Okay, I could be wrong. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like they, you know, I think Obama, like, not to say that I'm like, I don't want to criticize Obama or anything. I think he's a great person, but I think he's almost too diplomatic. I think right now we need more, like, you know what I mean? Like, now that we know everything, but, you know, and I can say that because, you know, Obama did that great thing. You know, he kicked out all those people at the very end. He did what he could. Remember the very end? He was like, kick all these people out, leave the place in, I forgot where, in Maryland, so some house they had or something. They all had to leave. So that I think in a way that was a way for them to catch them talking. You know, then that's when, like, remember the whole conversation that Michael Flynn had with as soon as the news came out, there were recordings of Michael Flynn talking to the Russian ambassador. Exactly. That's when he was like, oh, look, don't worry, we're going to reverse this. Like, there's recordings apparently of him saying that, like, hello. Okay, Alex Jones. Let's do Alex Jones. Okay. Alex Jones, Infowars, Alex Jones, Infowars, Alex Jones, Infowars. Yeah. Yep. Michelle said Obama was really walking a fine line. Yeah, it's difficult because I feel like Obama is so dignified, and I think he was like, he did not want to make it sound like he was, you know, doing everything just to support the Democrats, but you can't give these people. And I saw, guys, I noticed the attitude of the Democrats has changed. They're much more aggressive now. The whole thing with, you know, what's his name? Nunes, the fake memo, and now they want our memo. They're like, oh yeah, you want that memo? We're going to release Jared Kushner. Like, what about the conversation of Don Jr.? Let's release that. You want a memo? Let's do memo. You know, they're like very harsh because they're seeing how these people, they're just like the worst. They are the absolute worst. Alex Jones, Infowars, Alex Jones. Oh, that's crazy. So this is the center. And it's funny, I was studying this card earlier today because I feel like this card has come up a lot. It's the Two of Swords upside down. And this is a card of having a hard time making a decision or needing to make a decision. And one reading of this card suggested, and I agree with it, that you see here, the person has a blindfold, sort of like justice, right? So upside down, the blindfold comes out and the truth comes out. So this is saying the truth is going to come out either about him doing some sort of obstruction, or as him, the truth is going to come out and cause a lot of problems for him. So, okay, this is a card of defeat, okay, upside like this. I think it's like examining the person's role, like his role in like he didn't want to feel defeated, or like his role in like something about a defeat of a child. Okay, so he had some sort of role. Oh, you know what it is? Okay, I've seen this. I remember because I looked at all these cards together too. The Five of Swords upside down also means that his role in creating a defeat is going to be examined. Sort of like if this is like upside down, it means like whatever negative thing you've created, it's going to be found out. Okay. Yeah. So here is the child. Okay. So it's like a child, a new. I wonder if it could, because he is a mature man, so his role in assisting a defeat is going to be uncovered. Michelle said Hillary's ego is bigger than her appeal. I think it's complex, Michelle. I think it's like it's just like a. I mean, I think it's in a way. I mean, I'll be very honest with you guys. I'm not also like as a person, I don't necessarily love Hillary Clinton, but I think she's 100 times better than like all the other candidates. Honestly, I just feel like it was like the combination of like how the propaganda machine was against her, how she and this is like, I think everybody probably recognizes this. Okay, that she is not necessarily the most. I don't say that she's not charismatic, but there's something about her where she's like, Trump understands how to, like, he's an entertainer. Okay, so he gets people like that. I think she doesn't. There's something about her where like regular, like a lot of people don't necessarily like her like at first. Okay, so it's just a combination of like a lot of things. It's not just that she's like her ego is like this or like that. Okay, so it's just very difficult to like. I mean, I cannot imagine, honestly, everything. Can you imagine like being like like the attacks that she's been getting from, it's unbelievable. Like, I don't care if like anybody who's like, even if there was like something she's done, one thing or bad, two or bad things or whatever, it's shocking. The amount that she has had to deal with, the attacks, I feel like, how could that even be legal? You know, it's like she's attacked like for everything. This is like so wrong. You know what I mean? Even if it's like, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Cynthia said. People should have a personality. Exactly. I feel like she's 100 times much more qualified than anybody. Okay, she knows the government. She knows how things work. But I feel like the attacks on women and the attacks on like, well, yeah. Anyway, guys, so let me just go. I just want to go back to the reading a little bit. But I feel like the whole thing with Hillary, and I think I remember this after the election. I remember like, oh, I get it now. They were attacking Hillary so that they would make it acceptable to attack women in general. Okay. So that it's like she was a proxy for all women who work, all women who are not like their 1950s fantasy of what women should be like. Okay. So this is like it was like, and I think also, guys, you have to remember that Putin hates Hillary. And I think this is core. He hated her because she was the one who said no to him. She's like, no, you can't do this. So so this is actually something that is not even discussed, how she had the balls to stand up to him. Okay, when Trump is like, acts like a submissive. Okay, anyway, so let me just go back here. All right. So this is a hangman. Okay, this is his cut. So this is his circumstances. Okay, so this is interesting here. And he's another card of an anchor. He's like turning the world upside down, an anchor. So okay, so guys, so this is you can keep discussing here. I'm just gonna go over the cards for Alex Jones, and we could still keep talking about the whole predicament. Okay, so of Hillary and the timing of everything, and the fact that essentially this was a revenge by Putin. Okay, so so this is a child, ending of a child. Because so this is another anchor. So he's an anchor for turning the world upside down. So I feel like his like I said here, his involvement in creating a defeat. You know, he's like this kind of like his like immature, because it's also the card of the immature person. So the immature person gets cut because they are anchors, or because they're anchors of this, like the assisted defeat in some way. And here is the hangman, meaning it's outside of his control. So there's something there that he can't avoid, I think. The cut to the because another element of the anchor card is a card of a person who has a job. So I think that his job, he's an anchor to turning the world upside down, meaning like he's tasked with this. And because he is connected to, as an anchor, to these values and this roles of, like the role of helping turn things upside down, then he gets cut. And guys, this is the card of prison. Okay, so it's a person who may go, I don't know that he's going to go to prison exactly, but something like that, and guilty. This is kind of a bad combination here, Lenormand and Tarot. A card that relates to prison and guilt. So there's a guilt here. There's something there. And then underneath I showed you obstruction. So like the truth about his obstruction is going to come out, or the truth is going to come out and cause serious problems for him. And this is a crazy, angry person in the government. And this is also, guys, this card means government, legal things, and also prison. So this, you know what? I feel like he could actually go to prison, to be honest, because I feel like, I'll show you why. Okay. Show you the other cards. Wonder for what? Diane, here we see he's another foreign agent. he receives all, you know, he receives all the propaganda messaging from Russia. So I feel like the other thing that I said, remember this guy, there's this guy, this Russian priest, I forgot his name is Alexander Dorgin. His name is Dorgin. He's like this ideologue, very scary person. You look at him, he has another one of those with a serial killer looks. So he's this Russian guy who wrote these books about, he's the guy who has the ideology of the what they call globalists. So this guy goes on that show all the time. Okay, so that basically he creates propaganda for Russia, the guy. He's on Alex Jones' show all the time. So it's like, it's made to be an entertainment show, but it's a propaganda show. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So it's sort of like, it's this whole scheme of like, I've said before, I think the other day, I wondered, like, why do they care about me? Like, for example, right? Why do they like give me negative comments when I'm just like some random woman with cards? Okay, like, and the reason why is that this things that we're doing is kind of, in their perspective, sits in a similar region. It's like all these stories that don't have proof to them and that have emotional content, okay? So anyway, so the devil here, so they look into his role as somebody who creates illusion, okay? And guys, another thing here, poverty and the letter. I could very well see this as some sort of indictment, okay? Because if you, like I said, guys, if you look at what people do, and this is why, because people are not aware, I don't think people are aware that a lot of these pro-Russia people are paid. They are foreign agents, technically speaking. Okay, so if you're a foreign agent and you don't declare it, it's illegal. This is why, you know what I mean? Because they posit this whole thing as entertainment, but I don't believe it is. This is why, okay? And this is a lot of money and opportunity. Okay, so here, looking at it together, so the Sun card is a card of like the magnifying glass. So his role as a devil, right, as a person who creates illusions, is going to be looked at. There'll be a letter that's going to indicate a very dire situation, maybe not just money, but generally hardship. A letter that indicates, like, once he's looked at, he gets a letter, okay? Or this could be a subpoena, okay? Something like that. Because, and it's like, it could also be communications. Communications that reveal money exchanges or something like that. So there's like a look into his communications and how he agreed to receive money and how he saw this as an opportunity just to make money. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I feel like, guys, you know, Amora said here that we're talking about how this whole propaganda network attacks people for doing what they're doing. And Morris said here, it's called the shadow effect. What you claim to be so against, you are actually doing. Your dark secret is, for example, if you're Christian, right, you're gay, and you say you are anti-gay. You know, it's just the whole thing. And I think the Russians, they exploited that so well. And it's also like, it's very sophisticated. I don't think we really understand this so super well. It's not just projection, but I feel like they really use it. They really push this. It's almost like it's the Goebbels, you know, genius of like explaining how accuse others of the thing you do yourself, like consciously. Okay, so it's like creating this, like the network. They want to create chaos. So when people should come up with stories that, you know, like crazy stories, then at whatever other truth exists, people are going to doubt it. Okay, it's like the outrage, their effect, or something like that. And that's why, you know, for example, I like I said, one time I'm gonna have to talk about propaganda, just like one show, like whatever, not show, like not like broadcast, but basically it's like there's a reason why everything is so outrageous, because you remember, because the shock effect makes it stay in your mind. Okay. Anyway, so here, like I said, let me just go back to this reading. So it's like looking into the communications, or he may receive like a letter or an indictment and that it will, about how his opportunism, I don't know, and how he made money from this. Okay, so just seeing here again, this is the role of the immature man in assisting the defeat is going to be looked at. Okay, and this is a card on top. This is like, I feel like he's guilty because he's involved in this network, and you have the card of prison underneath. Okay, so that's kind of a problem. I would be concerned if I were him. Okay, so the child is guilty. After someone looks at, or the government, there's like people see his devil works. Okay, how he is like he's connected to all these illusions. So all these cards have to do in a way with illusion and lying and manipulating. So I feel like the child, like the immature man, is guilty, is determined to, is found guilty, I think, ultimately after his role is examined. And this is like, here it's like the hangman, so he's somehow at mercy of something bigger. Okay, and here I said is the card of the two of swords upside down. That's when the blindfold comes off and the truth is revealed. So there's a cut. It could also be an ending to the difficult, to the challenge. But I just see here, guys, also a sudden could also be sudden long-term problems through a letter. Okay, and you have, like I said, 5 of Wands, very negative underneath. So I feel like stuff comes out about him. Okay, and either he gets an indictment or like there's just some stuff that comes out that's bad here. Okay. And he's an anchor. This is also like a long-term law opportunity. Okay. So I feel like, honestly, this, I know it sounds kind of crazy to say this, and who knows what, I'm just saying, guys, what I'm seeing here. It's another indication that he could go to prison because you have a long time in jail, long time in prison, long time law, an opportunity to spend a long time in jail. Okay. This is kind of, I know it sounds a little weird, but I'm just reading what I see. It's like a person involved in turning the world upside down, kind of like a shady kind of charlatan con artist who got a lot of money out of this. Okay, so oh guys, you know what I'm thinking? This is interesting. You know what I'm thinking? I'm seeing this money card here. I wonder if somehow he's involved in money laundering in the back. You know what I mean? I wonder if somehow, because the quantity of money here is very high. Okay, a lot of money here, opportunity for a lot of money. So I feel like, I almost wonder if like I said, all of these people who are involved are going to be looked at with like magnifying glass. Okay, so they might find, if they look at the money exactly, avoid the IRS exactly. Oh, you know what? This could also be the IRS, that the IRS has been looking at him for a long time, because this is a government law in that way. Okay, in the sense of institutions and so forth. So I feel like for a long time, they could be, it's possible they were looking at him for money, because there's a way, I feel like, yeah, Trump is, but guys, let's see, we'll see about that. I don't honestly, yeah, let's see here. I feel like the fact, like I said, the fact there's so much money here, it's a lot of money. I almost feel like I'll be surprised that he made as much money, but it looks like he has. So because this opportunity is connected to the guilt in some way, okay, then I think that might be how they catch him in some way or other. Okay, I do think, yeah, I just see here that there's like a lot of stuff coming out about manipulation and about truth and his role in his illusions. That's going to be bad for him. Okay, so let's see what happens to him by, where will he be by the end of 2019? Let's say 2019, summer 2019, where will he be? Ooh, sorry. Yeah, it's funny. I feel like here, this is a tree. So this is like a painful ending to everybody who's involved in the org chart. Okay. Everybody involved with the group, or this is I could be the election also, because this is an election, or like, or that he's upset about, people are upset about the election. I feel like he's part of the group. And conversation, this is a part of the wrong nostalgia, racism, and so forth, and conversations. Because this is the network of like the, alt-right or whatever. It's all these like spokespeople for this. So this is the wrong group of people and related to the White House or in a house business. So yeah, I feel like, in a way, I wonder, is it going to jail? What's going to happen? Is this going to continue? What's the deal here? Yeah. Painful news about the people related to him. Yeah, so I feel like, I almost feel, guys, he's going to get, like, if he does indeed go to prison, I don't know that he will, who knows, but I feel like his role is going to be dramatically diminished. Okay, like I said, I could be wrong, but I don't think that Mueller is going to let these people get away with a lot. Okay, so I feel like what I'm getting about Alex Jones that's a little bit different from for example, Sean Hannity, is that I could be wrong. I'm not necessarily seeing this in the cards directly. I'm just putting this together here, is that he has some other role away from like what he does publicly, which may, like I said, may have something to do with some sort of money laundering or something. I feel like these people, like what they do is, like, once they get somebody that they understand is loyal, they're like, hey, you could make a lot more if you did this for us. So that could be like something like, like something really, I don't know exactly what it is, but I feel like there's something there. Okay. And yeah, that's that, guys. Alex Jones. So that's it, guys. So, oh my God, is it true? We have 3 minutes left. That's crazy. I can't believe it. Diane, yeah, we don't have, Diana, I'm sorry, we don't have time, because it's like, I have 2 minutes. I still have to shuffle the cards. That's not enough. Yeah, I don't know, Diana. Diana says the Zonka's kids. Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think they will. And I don't think that would be fair, honestly, to do that. I feel like I've said before, she remarries. She marries a rich guy. Her whole life is going to be dealing with lawyers and stuff like that. And I think Mueller is cognizant that, Mueller is cognizant that he can't, of public opinion. Okay. So it's like, I don't know that she's going to go to jail, honestly. I don't know what's going to happen. I see her remarrying. Okay. We'll see. We'll see, Diane. I feel like if the whole, I don't know. We have to, it's hard to say. It's hard to say what happens, but I feel like everything is, it's like the same thing with, what's his name? Bernie Madoff. All the kids, they're going down too. Okay. Kind of thing. The woman, but I guess, the difference is that she really does have a role in all this, but I don't know, guys. Yeah, I feel like, think about it, if you're Mueller, think about it. She's probably going to he's probably like, okay, let's try to focus here. Who do we want to get down? Like, if you create something where the punishment is like, so I feel like he has to punish people, everybody, in the government or whatever, but at the same time, this is what I'm getting here, guys, in the situation, from what I'm seeing, is that I feel like Mueller is aware of public relations. Okay, so it's like, I feel like Mueller does not want it to be about vengeance or anything. He just wants to be about the law. So, you know what? Guys, you know what? Remember, this is the thing, and this is maybe why. Remember in readings about her, I Get the Snake, I feel like she collaborates with Mueller in some way. There's something that, remember how I said something like she goes over there and talks to him? I feel like she gives something. Okay, I believe that she gives some sort of information or something because of Jared. I believe that she may try to like actually she may betray her dad, and in that way she